partnerships with under contract from governmental space agencies like NASA or ESA. Example of private space companies: SpaceX, founded by Elon Musk; Blue Origin, founded by Jeff Bezos; Virgin Galactic, founded by Richard Branson; Rocket Lab, Syria Space, and the next. Second point is major type of private space mission: satellite launching, space tourism, cargo resupply to ISS, human spaceflight, interplanetary mission planned. Third point is key components and mechanism: a rocket design, propulsions. Rocket are the primary vehicle used for launching payloads into space. Key system include propulsion system, chemical propulsion, most common uses liquid or solid fuel stages. Rockets are usually multi-stage to drop weight as they can. Example: SpaceX Falcon 9 Stage 1, powerful engines lift the rocket off the ground. Stage 2: after stage 1, drop of stage 2 takes over to the place the payload in orbit. Reusability: SpaceX pioneered reusable booster to lower cost. Booster land back on Earth using heat, fins and thrusters. The B point is spacecraft payload. The spacecraft is the part of the rocket that carries satellites, crew capsules, example Crew Dragon, cargo modules. Key system: life support for humans, thermal control, navigation and communication. Docking system for the ISS. Deep sea point is launch infrastructure, launch pads, Cape Canaveral, mission control centers for tracking and controlling missions, tracking stations worldwide monitor the spacecraft post launch. D is mission phases. The first point is preparation, designing the mission, integrating payloads, testing all systems. Launch, rocket engine, ignite and lit loft bagging. Third point is stage separation. Lower stages fall away, orbit insertions, upper stage place payload in desired orbits. Fifth point is mission execution, deploying satellites, docking with ISS, re-entry recovery, if applicable, crewed capsule return to Earth, booster land for reuse SpaceX. 4 point is technologies involved: avionics, autopilot system, artificial intelligence for autonomous navigation, telemetry system, material science for heat shield, lightweight components, 3D printing, rocket labs, Rutherford engine. The fifth point is safety and regulation. Private companies must adhere to FAA, Federal Aviation Administration regulation in the US, International Space Law, Outer Space Treaty, environmental safety checks. Six is business model. Private space companies earn money through government contracts. NASA pays SpaceX for ISS mission, launching commercial satellite, selling rights to space tourism. Future plans include asteroids, mining moon, colonization, and interplanetary travel. 7 point is key challenges, high cost and risk, technological complexity, regulatory hurdles, space debris management. 8 is future of private space flight. Starship SpaceX aim to send humans to Mars. Orbital hotels led by companies like Axiom, suborbital tourism, Virgin Galactic Blue Origin, reusable spacecraft, reducing cost further. Would you like a visual diagram of how a private space launch works? How to work space flights and its parts work? Great question. Here are simplified explanation of how spaceflight work and how each part of a space vehicle contributes to the mission. How spaceflights work step by step. The first point is launch preparation. The rocket is assembled and tested. Fuel, usually liquid hydrogen, RB1 or liquid oxygen, is loaded. The mission team checks all systems and clears for lift off. And the second point is launch phase. Rocket engine ignite and generate thrust to overcome Earth gravity. The vehicle accelerates upward, gradually increasing speed. Third point is stage separation. Rockets are typically multi-stage. Stage 1, main engine provides initial thrust, detaches after fuel is used. Stage 2, or more lighter carrier spacecraft payload to orbit. Each storage separates after completing its job, reducing weight. Fourth point is orbit insertions. The upper stage fires to reach orbital velocity 28,000 km/h. The spacecraft is placed into orbit around Earth on a trajectory to space. The fifth point is mission execution. Depending on the mission, a satellite is deployed, a crewed capsule docks with the ISS, a probe is sent toward the Moon or Mars. Onboard computers and ground control manage operation. 6 point is return or completion. If it's a crew mission, the capsule re-enter Earth's atmosphere, heat shield protected from extreme heat, parachutes or engine slow it down for a safe landing. Main part of a spaceflight vehicle, their function. Rocket booster stage, parts and functions provide the main lift-off power, falls away after fuel burn out, often reusable. Upper stage, stage 2 and 3, carries payload into orbit, fires again in space to adjust trajectory. Payload spacecraft, the object being delivered a satellite crew capsule, cargo probe, fairing nose cone, protective shell over the payload, discard once outside the atmosphere. Crew capsule, if manned, contain astronauts and life support system, returns to Earth at and heat shield protect the capsule during re-entry from high heat up to 1650 Celsius. Landing gear parachutes used to land safely either by parachute, splashdown or vertical rocket landing. Avionics, the brain, computer sensors, and navigation system to guide the flight. Fuel tank engine stores and burn fuel for thrust varies by stages. Next is how the satellites work. Satellites are machines placed in space to orbit Earth on another celestial body and perform specific function. Here are detailed breakdown of how satellites work, including their parts and type. First is launch and orbit insertion. Satellites are launched aboard rockets. Once in space, the rocket upper stage places the satellites in its target orbit, like low Earth orbit, geostationary orbit. The satellite then deploys solar panels and antennas and begins operating. Second point is staying in orbit. Satellites stay in orbit due to balance between gravity pulling them toward Earth, forward velocity keep them in constant free fall orbiting instead of falling straight down. Some satellites have small thruster for course correction called station keeping. Third point is performing its mission. Depending on the satellite's type, it performs different tasks. Types and their functions. Communication satellites relay phone, TV, and internet signals. Weather satellites monitor cloud patterns, storms, and climate. GPS satellite provide global location and timing information. Earth observation satellites take high-resolution image for agriculture, mapping, or defense. Scientific Space Telescope observe the universe. Example: Hubble. Military satellites used for surveillance, communication, or missile detection. 4 point is data transmission. The satellite uses antennas to send and receive signals to from Earth. It may send collected data, images, measurement, receive command from ground control. Data travels at the speed of light via radio waves or microwaves. 5th point is power supply. Solar panels generate electricity from sunlight. Batteries store energy for times when the satellite is in Earth's shadow. Main part of the satellites and their roles, parts and functions. Solar panels provide power by converting sunlight into electricity. Antennas send and receive data or communication signals. Onboard computer controls satellites operations and process data. Sensor instruments depending on the mission's camera, radar, telescope, etc. Thruster used for orientation, minor orbital adjustment. Batteries power the satellites when in darkness. Thermal control system maintain temperature within operational range. Lifespan and end of life. Most satellites operate for 5 to 50 years depending on their mission and orbit. After end of life, some are moved to a graveyard orbit, others burn up in the atmosphere on re-entry. Newer design aim for deorbiting safely to reduce space debris.